I have been selling this book, Zan Azli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH. For a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. You're watching and listening to the Fat British Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shawty Mustafa.
As usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it.
Yes.
And this week we're going to watch a local film and we're going to review it, and the film is called
Banglo Seksyen 12.
Banglo Seksyen 12. Section 12 PJ? Section 12 Subang?
Shalam.
Section 12 Subang? Section 12 USJ? Okay, so we reviewed, we watched Banglo Seksyen 12 Shah Alam.
You didn't say Shah Alam.
Petaling Jaya.
Whatever lah, Banglo Seksyen 12.
What's it about?
It's about a bungalow in Section 12 somewhere.
An abandoned bungalow.
Abandoned bungalow, and it's about these two teams of... It starts with like several murders.
Yeah.
And only one survivor, which is this boy. And then like a team of ghost hunters come and they want to like
the abandoned house,
go into the house, but because like there's all these murders, they are like freaking out in the worst way, because they're freaking out in the most over way, and they're like, we should call the police. No, let's see what he has to say first, and don't call the police first, some nonsense like that. And then the boy or whatever starts telling the story lah about how his friends went to the bungalow, but then it turns out 20 years ago, so another group of teenagers who went into their bungalow like also like died or disappeared or whatever.
And then the story intercuts between what happened in 2006 and 2026.
Yeah.
Because it's similar, right?
Yeah.
What happens?
2006 eh?
Yeah, 2006 and 2026.
Yeah lah.
Yeah.
So basically, that's the show.
So what do you think about the film?
We hate it. It's stupid. I fell asleep. I thought it was going to be a horror film, and I was like quite excited actually, because you know there's like all these you know, if you are from Shah Alam or you study in Shah Alam, there are so many of these abandoned bungalows, and like there's especially the most famous one is the one in Section 2, which is the bungalow 50 ringgit, which is supposed to be one of Mona Fendi's like houses where she keeps one of her whatever
supposedly lah,
but it's like famous lah, this bungalow sewa 50 ringgit. So like I was like, oh, maybe it'll be like one of those kind of shows, and then it'll actually be like quite good, because you know, as we've learned from the Kuman films, you know, when it's just a simple like one location setting, and it can be done quite well lah. So like I was scared to go into the film. I was also,
I'm going to close the window because some house alarm went off, and it's so, yeah, okay.
And I expected it to be, that was the problem. I should not expect. In 2024, it seems like expectations are the root of all disappointment. So anyway, it didn't turn out to be good. It sucked. The acting was bad. Nobody we knew was in it. But that was not what made the acting bad. The actors were just bad. They was just seriously overacting. Seriously overacting. And then like every time they transition into the next scene, they will play a jump scare sound effect, which was fucking annoying. And I was so annoyed because like the first few times I actually got scared, but then after that I actually managed to sleep through it because it was just so constant. Like it becomes like the alarm, like background sound already. So I hated it. I hated it so much. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I'm going in. I didn't know what to expect from the movie. Like you had expectations. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about the movie. Don't know anybody who's involved in it. I don't know who the director is. Apparently, a very famous actress and model. And it's her first time making a film. This is a debut feature film. And I don't want to discourage first-time filmmakers.
Okay, congratulations on making a film then.
But it's bad. When I was in uni, we did the same thing. We were always very excited to go and look for abandoned bungalows and go in and look for ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I've never been scared. It's all just bullshit, I think. But it was fun. When I was younger in uni with my friends, we would drive around. We would go, Shah Alam has abandoned bungalows and houses. Bukit Gasing has abandoned bungalows and houses. Federal Hill. At Federal Hill. Yeah. My friends and I, we particularly like Bukit Gasing and Federal Hill because the houses are old, right? They're like colonial houses and they're abandoned and it's fun lah. You know, my friends would say, things will happen, like they bring camera cannot work, car suddenly cannot accelerate. But I was with them. Nothing of that sort really happened. Maybe lah, sometimes you're driving your student, you drive a cheap car, sometimes the car jerks a little bit. But it happens anywhere, not just in the bungalow like that. And cameras, I'm a guy in the late 90s, cameras sucked. The cameras that were available sometimes cannot work, sometimes can work. It just happens, not just in a
take a picture, suddenly got shadow at the back.
Yeah, the lens flare and all that. That happens. I don't believe in all that crap. But it was fun, right? The times I had with my friends going to search for Hantu, it was fun because you got to hang out, you got to laugh and all that, right? So when the film started, okay, it kind of brought me back to that. There was a little bit of nostalgia there. But then
you realize the film were not stupid.
No, then the film started. This is based on a novel. And I'm guessing, I don't know, I'm used to watching novels that are made into movies done by, Fixie and Kuman Pictures. And for some reason, their stories are better. The stories are good. Right? Yeah, most of it are good. So
no, more sophisticated. I didn't say most of it.
So I'm like, then how come this one not good?
It's not made by Kuman Pictures.
No, cannot say like that, right? Because anybody can make a good film. And I'm thinking, I've never heard of the novel. I'm going to be honest, right? I've never heard of the novel, the book. But is the book a bestseller? If the book is a bestseller, then the story would be good. And if it's adapted into a film, then the film should be decent as well. Unless the people who adapted it into a film are just so lousy and so bad that, it turned out bad lah. Because I felt that the story had no structure at all. It was all over the place. It felt like just random scenes put together. It took me like almost more than halfway and almost 3/4 of the film to actually get that, they're juxtaposing 2006 with 2016. And there were also parts where they wanted to show some hallucinations where the people in there, but because it was bad lah, I just couldn't tell. Right? I couldn't even tell if there was a real structure. Right? So that was bad.
Bad, it was loud.
Yeah. The jump scares that you were saying. Jump scares, number one, we already don't like jump scares because it's a cheap tactic, right? To get scares. Right? But this one, the jump scares didn't even have a motive. Just suddenly a loud music, but nothing happens.
Change scene.
Change scene, like a transitional jump scare. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
No, that's so wrong. Right? In our opinion lah, other people's opinion, maybe it's alright lah.
Okay, but now that you say that it's actually her first film, right? I'm like, your first film is supposed to be bad, I suppose. So.
Yeah, but so now.
Okay, so hopefully she will learn from this, and then 5 years down the road, she looks at this film and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I look at my first few films, I'm like, my god,
I never want to see this piece of shit ever again.
Yeah, so you
we
feel,
get it in the moment, when you're doing all this, it's exciting, it's your first film, you're like, this is how I want to do it. But then as you grow and you learn as a filmmaker, then you realize what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, I mean...
So, maybe it'll be like that for her, I don't know.
Yeah,
because if you look in the credits, her name comes out a lot. She was like Mariska Huggy the thing, you know. She was
producer lah, executive producer lah, scriptwriter lah, she's acting in it lah, she's directing in it lah.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I was like that too. And look, I've had early films that were like totally criticized and like almost got me off filmmaking. But you learn from there lah, huh?
Yeah,
you learn from there. I'm not going to tell these reviewers during my early days, right? They give me bad reviews, right?
They don't understand.
I'm not going to say things like, actually I didn't even take it to heart. Right? What you gonna do? It's your first film. You know what I mean?
First film,
you really don't know anything. You're learning. So look, take this with some positivity to it lah. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
You made a first film. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But it can only get better from here.
Yeah. It's a learning process. But another thing that I really need to point out is the acting was horrible.
Yeah.
Every single actor in that film was horrible. Their performance was horrible. Don't know how to act. I don't know if you don't know how to act, but it's just overacting. And sometimes what they do is their characters, I don't see the motivation for why they're like that. Like the guy, the main guy with the jacket and the mustache, the one that's always so angry.
Yeah,
why?
the Penang guy.
Why?
Why are you so aggressive? What's your problem?
We don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about your group. Why you're there? Why you're so angry?
Being like such a dick. Like go to therapy.
Like no motivation, you know, for the characters and why they do what they do. No motivation. We don't know.
And they're so one-dimensional in the way that they're presented. Also, like, oh, this girl is only smitten with that guy. That's her only motivation. And this boy is just the sidekick of this girl. And then like, oh, this guy is just the main good-looking guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it lah.
There was no character growth. It was So
would you tell people to watch it?
No, don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Even if it's a first time filmmaker.
Yeah lah.
Don't watch
she makes better films lah.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what it is lah.
Yeah.
I was very upset that I paid money to see it, okay? I was very upset. Like, just very upset. If I watch a bad film on like Netflix or one of the streaming services, right, I don't feel as angry because I'm paying for the month. So that means I can watch like maybe like nine other good films on that one platform to compensate for the bad one. But this one, I paid money specifically to see this one film. And basically I paid for a nap, which angered me because I can take a nap for free at home anytime. And
whenever we go and watch films to review, right, I am always skeptical if it's going to be bad, you know, and I will take precautions. I will buy snacks, get drinks, so that as long as if I'm bored, at least I can do something.
Yeah, but then we were so
full. We had a good lunch, we had a good tea time with our like family and all that the day earlier in the day, you know. So we were so full. We couldn't eat any snacks, so we didn't bring any snacks. And sometimes when I watch really bad films, the bad that they actually can become entertaining, you know. Like we watched Pendekar Awang and we watched what was the last week's review? Pendekar Awang and
that film, Alif Sata's film.
The Alif Sata film. It was a horror movie. Anak Perjanjian Syaitan. It's so bad. Yeah, Anak Perjanjian Syaitan 2. And by the way, yes, we did watch one a few years ago.
4 years ago.
Which we totally
forgot.
My
face was in there. I was like, oh, what?
Like we watch bad films and I can find joy in watching bad films too, because then I can laugh at it, I can make fun of it, I can give bad reviews that is fun, you know. But this one, it was just painful to watch lah. Yeah, it was I suffered through the 1.5 hours in the cinema.
Should have taken a nap like me.
Yeah, well, I don't take naps. Anyway, like that lah.
Sucks to be you then.
Yeah, so you know, like this video. Don't like this video, subscribe. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Bidin, or go to fatbidin.com to get everything. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
You'll be watching and listening to the Fat Bidin
You are?
And I'm Cheryl Abustawan.
We're watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli. And oh, okay, bye.